Hi, I'm Marc Sklar, the fertility expert, and I'm here to talk to you today about sexual positions and timing of intercourse, which is one of the biggest questions we get asked online all the time. So if you're ready to listen and improve your fertility, then watch this video on sexual positions and timing of intercourse. Hi, so I'm Marc Sklar, and I'm back again to talk to you about how to get pregnant fast. One of the biggest questions we get asked often is about sexual positions and timing of intercourse, because obviously if we can do that better and more efficiently, we can increase our success rate and get pregnant faster. The one thing that most people don't understand or recognize is our statistics, our regular rate of conception per month as couples, right? So our best chance of conceiving as a couple is in our late teens to early to mid 20s, and at best we have a 25 to 30% chance of getting pregnant. That's at best. So you need a minimum of 4 months to give yourself the optimal chances of getting pregnant. So as a human species and as a population of individuals that try to conceive, we're very inefficient at doing that. Okay, so we need to recognize that. When I ask this question to patients, they usually say, oh, we've got an 80% or 60% chance of getting pregnant, which is not the reality. As we age, that percentage goes down. Okay, so we need to do everything we can to increase our chances and to give ourselves the best opportunity every given cycle. The two main ways we can do that is by timing our intercourse appropriately and using the best or more appropriate sexual positions for intercourse. When it comes to timing, what we need to discuss is how we're doing this in conjunction with a regular menstrual cycle. So if you have a regular 28 to 30 day menstrual cycle, you're ovulating roughly somewhere in the middle, let's just say somewhere between day 13 and 16 of your menstrual cycle. If you're doing that, then what I recommend for patients is that you count 5 days before ovulation and 2 days after, and you've got a 7-day window. If you want to extend it a little bit, you can to 8 days. And you're going to start trying, and you're going to have intercourse every other day for that window of 7 to 8 days. Okay? This is assuming that semen is healthy, all normal variables and in normal parameters. Some of my recommendations would change if we've got an abnormal semen analysis in some way. So with all of those variables being normal, then 5 to 6 days before, we start trying every other day through ovulation. And I do like to go a day or two after ovulation for some of those to catch it just in case it's a little bit late, and some of our sperm swim fast and some swim slow, so you're giving opportunities on both ends of the spectrum. Additionally, if your timing is every other day and you ovulate on an off day, if you want to add that day in, you absolutely can, assuming again that your semen analysis is normal. Another variable to consider, I'm going to stop there. Sorry. Another question that gets asked often is, can we or do we need to have intercourse multiple times a day? The answer to that is no. It's not necessary. I mean, certainly if you want to, by all means, I'm all for more sex and better sex, that's fine. But there's not a need to do that. It will not increase your chances. And actually, we want to give time for the semen to regenerate. So having too much intercourse might be detrimental as well. So I don't typically recommend that when I'm talking to patients. If you're trying to get pregnant faster, another thing to consider is sexual position, and that's often a question that gets brought up regularly in the practice. So if you've ever had a pelvic exam or a pap smear done, usually what they're also looking at very briefly is the position of your cervix. Typically, most OBs will mention if they, on observation, that your cervix is malpositioned in some way, whether it's anterior or retroverted. But there are times where they don't bring it up because it's not uncommon for them to see it, and it's also not a big deal for OBGYNs. So sometimes you have to ask a little bit further, like, does my cervix look healthy? Is it in the normal position? You need to pry a little bit to get that information. Either way, our opinion when you're trying naturally is that the position of your cervix will affect natural conception, and by that I mean we can improve the ability to conceive naturally by picking or choosing certain positions of intercourse. So if your cervix is positioned naturally or normally, it's a straight angle through the vaginal canal, and during penetration and ejaculation, it's a straight shot into the opening of the cervix, which is right here. Okay, and so if that's the case, then sexual position, you should be able to enjoy yourself in any positions you'd like, and really the position shouldn't matter dramatically. The biggest time where it does matter is if your cervix is malpositioned in some way, if it's shifted forward anteriorly or backwards, so it's retroverted. Okay, and that's where timing of the, that's where position of intercourse will make a difference. And the easiest way for me to tell you which position is the best position is if the position is actually uncomfortable. Okay? If the position is uncomfortable during penetration, that means that they're hitting the cervix more directly. And with that, that's actually the ideal position, because during ejaculation, they're going to ejaculate straight into the opening. Now, there's not a lot of room for ejaculate to go, but again, any opportunity to increase your success rate and chances, the more we'll take it. Okay, so if it's shifted forward or back, if during intercourse and penetration it hurts and it's uncomfortable for you, then that's the position that I would be recommending. You know, it's not something I normally recommend for you to be uncomfortable at any time, especially during intercourse, but that is the more ideal position, and ideally you would only be doing that during ovulation. The other question in relationship to position that gets brought up is, do I have to raise my hips after intercourse? Absolutely not. Do I think it hurts? No. But do I think it helps? No. You don't have to put a pillow underneath your hips and raise your hips. You don't have to, stand on your head or anything like that. It's really not necessary. What I would say, it's very natural for some of the semen to come out after intercourse. It doesn't mean that the sperm has come out with it. Okay, if you do want to lay on your back or rest there for a little bit, maybe a couple minutes to 5 minutes, that's totally fine. But anything beyond that, I really don't think is necessary. I hope you enjoyed this video on best timing of intercourse and best sexual positions to get pregnant faster. For the latest updates and videos posted to our channel, subscribe using the button below. And if you want to learn more, then look at the videos to the right and click on those to get a little bit more information and increase your chances of getting pregnant. Thanks so much.